Hello folks and welcome back to Relaxing Woodshop. My name is David. I hope you really enjoyed last week's Christmas special. If you haven't, feel free to go back and spool through some of our previous videos if you're new to this channel. If not, this week we are going to do a Bolt Action Rifle Pen kit. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the kit together and obviously turn it on the lathe. So stick with us and we'll go through the ingredients. Okay folks, so here is the ingredients for this week. So from the Temple Patrick Woodshed, we have the Bolt Action Pen kit. Then we also have our drill bit. Then we have the pen kit itself. And then of course wood. Now, the wood we have gone for is a black Palmyra. Obviously if there's anybody that's really into their wood, they'll probably know that that's not the way to pronounce it. But we've got the black Palmyra, and then what we're going to do is we're going to cut that to size and then work our way through the process. This is step by step for anybody that's going to be their first time in doing one of these Bolt Action pen kits. Reason I like these so much is they're very, very heavy and they're beautiful when they're finished and not too complicated. So let's get into it. Okay folks, so first step is you get your wee cylinder that comes with the kit, and then you just place it to the piece of wood and measure about roughly 1/4 centimetre to each side to give yourself a wee bit of wiggle room, and I'll show you why we're going to do that in a second. So what we now need to do is cut this on the bandsaw. Now guys, once you've got that cut out, remember, I know we use the bandsaw there, but you can use any normal saw to cut it, but it's just handy with the bandsaw there. So once you've cut it out, you get your chuck, place it in to the lathe, and then lock that off just to give it a good stiff tight. Then to the other side, make sure you have your drill bit sitting in, because what we're going to do is now we're going to set the drill bit into place. If you're buying any of these kits, always ask or check the instructions as to what drill bit you need before you leave the shop, just in case it's not one you have physically in stock yourself. Once that's in, then we get the piece that we cut. Normally it's the better side is the piece that's cut either by yourself if you're using a bandsaw or from the factory. And then what we do is we get the chuck. Gently now, what we'll want to do is bring this to the center line here. Press it in with your finger, just gently, but making sure it's perfectly flat because you don't want this offset, and gradually bring in those teeth until it bitens down nice and tight here. Do your 180 degrees, tighten again, 180 degrees, and tighten again. Now that's fully locked. Then we're going to bring this forward to actually drill this section out. In case you think for the first time anybody ever watching this thinking that I'm, it's because of about 3 layers on, because it literally is 2 or 3 degrees outside, so that's why I'm kind of more hopped up today. Now, I'm not going to bore you with this whole bit here. Obviously, when we're turning it, I'll show you that in a bit of detail. But with this bit here, this is a very slow process because you want to go back and forward, gently bringing in the bite off the drill bit. So when you turn the lathe on, you get a small turn. And then as you bring the blade forward, you hear that bite. That means we're just not center. So we'll move it more to the center here. Like so, lock her in, and then gradually just bring it forward one wee bit at a time, letting the drill bit itself catch the wood, just like so. And then we're going to repeat that and repeat that and repeat that. So I'll not bore you with that any further, but that's exactly how the motion goes. Okay guys, now that's done, what we need to do is first check that perfect fit, okay? So we need to now glue this and then set that in. Now, if you're gluing this and you don't have an activator, sometimes you could leave this then overnight to cure properly. But if you're knocking out a few different pens or doing a few different bits and bobs, then it can be better to buy and invest in a wee bit of activator with the glue that works for it, so that you can move from one job to another and keep moving on your wee activities. With this bit of glue, keep turning it a few times to get around all the wee bits, then a good hard push in to make sure that the copper just sits below the wooden line. Then your activator, and let that sit for about 5 or 10 minutes to let that harden before we then go to our next job. Okay guys, so now that that bit's done, what we're now going to do is bore out ever so slightly the loose wood to get down back to the copper, okay? I call it copper, it's not really copper, it just looks like copper. So what we're going to do is we're going to drill down it. Now, when I got my kit, has this wee bit, so as you can see there, it's an unusual head and that's for going down. It isn't as broad as the hole for the bullet pen, so you just have to be extra gentle when you're drilling down so you don't damage any part of it, okay? So you can obviously buy the more expensive part that fit into that, but just for now, that's what I have to work with. So, lock her in. In goes, and gently. And there you are, you can just feel it starting to nip the wood there. So we'll spin that over, and we'll do that on the other side, and then we'll get on to the turning itself. Right folks, so now we've got all through that, now is on to the main part of the turning. So, first of all we need to remove our chuck. So, good hard twist. Pop that out. Then in goes the mandrel. I think it's called a mandrel, let's call it a mandrel. Slide that in. Then, these are two items you'll need to buy when you're buying, you don't get these with the kit. So those two wee items there are for bushes for putting in your slice of wood. So, we'll put the bush on, then we'll put on the rear root, which then locks into place on that side, and then again the bush. It's 3 degrees guys, remember, so my wee hands are just as good to that side, okay? And then we'll tighten this up, and then that will then in turn put us on for turning. And the only thing we can do for turning without boring is time lapse. Right folks, so now we're just on to the sanding of it. So 180, 240, 320, 500, 600, 1200, 1500, right up as far as you can get this to make it as smooth as possible. So let's get sanded. Okay, alright. Down low speed and then 2 speed. And leave to dry. As it is with all woodworkers and anybody doing general work, this is the moment where it excites you because you see everything coming together. So we've got a lovely press here from one of our first videos. We never had a press, so this is our first press. So into there, you just slide that, and then you get the handle, and as you press down, that will just slide straight in like so, and that's the first section done. Then we're going to put our spring in first. So the spring goes in first, but make sure you have it up inside the wee pen bit itself. So then the spring goes in all the way down. Make sure you have a wee test of that. And then it is this bit here which has the whole bolt action kit. So again, put the pen in, lock in place, make sure you've got a nice fit here. Bring your wee handle forward just a wee nudge more just to get it a nice cut, and then press down, and that will bring everything together, so it will. And then we'll move this forward like so, and then we'll go again, and then we'll move it again one more. It's just till you get it comfy as to where it's going to fit. One and final turn, hopefully should do this. And there we have the Bolt Action Rifle Pen. Absolutely gorgeous, so it is, really, really is. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this week. It is a wee bit different. Christopher's not here to help out, so it's just a wee bit different where we don't have him going through and standing much taller than me. But guys, look forward to seeing you in the new year, where we'll show you another edition of the Relaxing Wood Shop. Take care and bye-bye.